Hey everybody, it's Christine, and I am back with another day of the Scrapping Boys video series. Today I am paired up with Kat Martin, so be sure to visit her channel, which I will link you up to down below. Now, today is kind of a weird video because, holy moly, I struggled with this layout. I can't even tell you how many times I took it apart and put it back together. So, I actually am going to include you on part of that process, and I think that's kind of an important thing to do because, like I've said earlier in the week, sometimes we just see how quick things go and we think, oh, that came together really easy. And that's not always the case, depending on, sleep, life, kids, etc. Some days my layouts come together real quick and simple, other days they do not. So today is one of those days, and I'm going to be sharing that with you. So, to start things off, I am using a whole variety of Bella Boulevard, and I'm using some of their pads that were smaller paper pads. They aren't 6x6, I think they're 6x8, and all I did is pulled out a whole bunch of sheets, didn't even trim them down, and just layered them out like that. And then I'm adding my pictures on, which, sorry about the glare on my pictures. Those glossy pictures, when I have lighting during the day, they seem to just have a nasty glare, so sorry about that. One of those life circumstances, right? So anyways, going on. I am using two pictures of my boys playing in the backyard, and so I'm gonna create just a fun title that says Boys Make Life Awesome. And I'm using a combination of chipboard letters from Bella Boulevard, teeny tiny letters from Doodlebug, and the word awesome then is actually from Jelly Bean Soup. And so three totally different fonts, looks, textures, all of that, but ends up coming together to make a really fun title. And that's kind of something I love doing, is mixing and matching to make my titles. Now, I am also going to be pulling in some various elements for decorating and embellishing, and those are going to come from Maya Road and from Bella Boulevard and from Doodlebug as well. So this is going to end up being one of the most clean and simple layouts you're going to see from me all week. A lot of times I have a lot of layers and a lot of details. Today that is not the case, partially because I was just low on time, partially because layers and all that were just not working. So we went clean and simple. So these little clouds that you're seeing come from an ephemera pack from Bella Boulevard, and some of them do have patterns on them. I flipped them over to make them white because I didn't want the patterns because they didn't coordinate with what I was doing. So I'm just flipping those over. I add some 3D foam squares to them. And then I'm going to pull in these little red dots, which are enamel dots, but they actually are meant to be part of a holly and ivy set from Doodlebug Design. I didn't have any more red enamel dots, and I thought, you know what? The white spot in them really doesn't matter if they don't have the ivy with them. So I opted to use those in kind of a different fashion than they were originally intended, which is always kind of fun. They're a couple years old anyway, so I was glad to get to use them. Now, you also see I'm adding on some stars there. Those are actually going to come back off. I like them with this brown, but I end up messing up this brown paper, and so I have to change my plan of attack. And here's how I'm messing it up. I did too much mist splatters. Every once in a while that happens. You just get too much and you look at it and you just can't really be happy with what you've got. So that is the case here. I think part of the problem for me was adding the mist took it away from the clean look that it had, and I liked the look I already had. I just felt like I needed something more, and sometimes you just need to stop. So I should have stopped. I did not stop. So I end up pulling everything up and completely changing the whole plan of attack. Now, because I didn't have more of this background paper, I had to switch my plan, and I went with a really dark charcoal gray black paper from Doodlebug Design, and it ends up working, but you're going to see it's going to change the look pretty significantly. Thus the wood stars come off. So all I did to fix it, I pulled that whole center part up, so that was nice and easy, thank goodness. And then I put it onto this dark charcoal gray paper, and I am going to switch my plan then and use stars that are metal wire ones from Maya Road from several years ago. Now, I'm also going to make my papers pop up a little bit more, because part of what I was looking for was just a little bit more than simple than, I was looking for a little more complicated than it was. It was too simple for me, too simple for my style, whatever. So I am just popping up those papers a little bit more with some foam adhesive to make them have a little more dimension, and that definitely helped the overall look in my mind. Now I'm going to just kind of piece things back together, the parts that were overlapping on the layout. I'm pulling back in here, pulling in the clouds and the hearts. Those hearts are really cute puffy stickers, again, older ones from Bella Boulevard. A lot of this layout today actually comes from a quick shopping spree down to Tuesday morning earlier this week, and I was thankful I had it to do because I was definitely running a little low on some boy supplies. So now I am going to add in those wire stars, which are a little tricky. Normally, time permitting, I would probably stitch them onto a layout, but I just didn't have the time today. So I'm just using some teeny tiny glue dots from Scrapbook Adhesives by 3L. Excuse me, not glue dots, adhesive dots. And I am tucking those underneath. And so that, you know, I'm tucking them under the clouds, so one corner of the adhesive dot is tucked underneath, and then the other one, I rolled it up real small so that it won't make my layout sticky in the end. And you can see those are much more subtle than the wood ones I had before. I liked the wood ones, but they just didn't work with the gray. Changed the look, and I think the wire looks really nice with the gray background. Final thing I'm going to do is just add on a few more hearts, add on a few more red dots, make sure I'm just getting everything nice and balanced. So don't forget, all week long I'm doing a giveaway for a $10 gift card to scrapbook.com and a $10 gift card to the Scrap Room Kit Club. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for bearing with me as I kind of ripped things apart and started again. I do think it's important for you guys to see that from all of us. And be sure to visit Kat's video, leave us comments, hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed the video, and we will see you again tomorrow.